Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to a very special video. First of all, a big thank you to my dear friend Dr. Rob. This Seiko SKX that I'm about to unwrap isn't mine, it's his. And I don't think anything says true love more than letting your friend take all the stickers off your brand new watch. So a big thank you to Dr. Rob. Now I can't think of a watch that has a bigger reputation for under $500 than the Seiko SKX. If you can, please leave me a comment down below. This is my first encounter with the legend. Let's flip the camera and get into the package and see what all the fuss is about. Well, I must admit I'm looking forward to this one. This watch has such a massive reputation. I'm really dying to get into this box and see what we've got inside. So DHL, that can only mean Creation Watches from Singapore. Another fantastic service from them. 2 days from order to arrival to me here in Sydney, and I believe I should be expecting the full box and instructions and guarantee etc. inside as well. And there they are. Always nice to get that little guarantee card stamped and dated as well. Now this is the SKX009K2. There are obviously a number of these different ones available. Let's pop the top. Right, and there it is, the legend itself. Now with a bit of persuasion, Rob went for the 009. I think this Pepsi bezel and that charcoal dial add a little bit of colour to his collection. I think a little bit of colour to anybody's wrist. Went for the Jubilee, although these things have got a reputation as being rattly. Let's see if they're any good. Let's get the packaging off this one. So that's all the packaging off, and it's looking pretty nice, I have to say. Now Rob paid 265 Australian dollars for this one. That's the equivalent of just around 200 US, which I think is the kind of going rate for these ones. There are occasional price spikes. There have been rumours that this model has been discontinued over the last 18 months or so. People even buying them speculatively in the case that the prices do go up. The J models are noticeably more expensive than the K models as always. I don't think there's much of a difference. I bought J's and K's before. There's a TGV video where he does a head-to-head and they come out pretty much identical. So go for the K model would be my advice as always. So dimensions and specifications then. 42mm diameter, 13.5mm thick, so fairly chunky little thing on the wrist, but only 46mm lug to lug. Now, this thing is legendary. Guys with smaller wrists can still get away with this one because of that relatively short lug length. Weighing in at 144 grams, unsized as it is on the bracelet, and 22mm lug width. Now let's have a look at this bracelet. I've been fairly vocal in my lack of admiration for some of these entry-level Seiko bracelets in the past. I'm not alone, they're pretty nasty. This one I have to say is the best of the bunch so far, but that's not saying much. 22mm at the lug, narrowing down to 18mm at the clasp. But have a look at the flex in this Jubilee. I mean, I don't need to undo the pins to show you the case back because I just need to show you the flex from the bracelet. And there is the case back, and very attractive it is too. And there we are, zoomed in on the great wave of Kanagawa on the back of the case back there. Very nice to see a little piece of art on your wrist, as if the watch wasn't enough. So a proper ISO certified 200-meter dive watch, this one. So the testing procedures even more rigorous than just for a standard 200 meters. This one has Seiko's proprietary Hardlex crystal. Not as hard as sapphire, but not too bad. A little more prone to scratching though. It's also got Seiko's proprietary Lumi Bright Lume. Now, it is insane. I'll pop up a Lume shot. Just ridiculous. All of the Seikos that I've owned have had this crazy lume, certainly as good as Super Luminova. If I give it a bit of an angle, you can see the lovely minute track on the chapter ring, so a nice depth to the dial. Just painted indices, but with that lume on there, that is perfectly sufficient. Nice kind of arrowhead come sword come fence post hands. It has been noted, however, though, that the counterbalance on the back of the second hand being loomed is a little unusual, but then I'm not sure you'll be too concerned about that. At night, If I turn the bezel, now bezel actually pretty good, a little bit of play, but not too bad. Better than I was expecting, to be honest. They say that some of these are slightly dubious in terms of the bezel action. Just an aluminium insert there. Let me pop out the crown. It's got the crown at 4 o'clock. Unsigned crown, by the way, which is slightly disappointing. But you can't have everything at this price. Nice firm pop. Now if I pull it out once, I should be able to adjust the date there. And if I roll it backwards, I should be able to adjust the day. And if I pop it out a second time, I should be able to adjust the time. Now, this is the 7S26 movement, so no hacking or hand winding in this one. It's all about the 21s. They've been making this one for 21 years. It's 21 joules, and that's a 3 Hz movement, so ticks at 21,600 vibrations per hour. The stated accuracy of these is between -20 and +40. I've looked at one of these previously and it ran just at -8, so a pretty good result all in all. These don't need serviced once a decade, so they say. So again, a pretty robust and reliable movement, if not the most sophisticated, shall we say. Nice coin edge, that kind of double coin edge bezel there. Good finishing on the case as well, I have to say. Some nice polishing there. A little bit of brushing on the lugs. As usual, no attempt by Seiko to match the finish on the lugs and on the bracelet, but you're not buying this one for the bracelet. You're buying it for the body of the watch, and so far looks really good, I have to say. Sorely tempted to pick one of these up for myself. And there it is, sitting on top of my 7-inch wrist. Now this is normally about my maximum 42, but because of those really nice short lugs, this thing wears very well. I'm still tossing up between the 13 and the 7. I'm going to go for the black dial one. I think I'll still go for the 13 just because it's that slightly smaller size. But yes, I can see why guys with maybe even 6.5-inch wrists can pull off this larger size very comfortably. I'm not going to size this one up today. I'll leave Rob with that pleasure. So my first encounter with the Legend. So far so good. This thing looks really good. Might have to pick one up myself. Thank you again to Dr. Rob. I wish him all the best health and happiness when wearing this one on its wrist. I'll leave it here for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.